Ethereum has had some growing pains, whether it is high transaction costs, traffic jams, front running. Why do these problems exist?
This is the scalability problem. Everyone's been talking about the scalability problem for at least 5 years now. Basically, it's like a simple supply and demand problem, right? Like if the number of people who want to send transactions goes up, but the amount of space for transactions on chain doesn't go up, then all of these people who want to send transactions are bidding against each other, and only the ones that are willing to pay a really high amount can actually get in. The only way to solve this is to just improve the technology to increase the number of transactions that the system can process. It's why we've been doing just all kinds of incremental improvements to the blockchain clients and the protocol and the code over the last 5 years.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Wealthy Value. The US government has pushed a total of $9 trillion into the economy so far. With tax dollars so desperately needed, it's fair to assume the IRS will focus on cryptocurrency. But what if you could trade crypto tax-free? Here's how to do it in 30 seconds. Step 1. Open a crypto RIA account with our friends at iTrust Capital, the world's largest crypto RIA platform with over $3.5 billion in transactions and no monthly fees. Step 2. You can transfer your existing IRA, roll over your employer plan, or make a cash contribution through ACH transfer, bank wire, or check. Step 3. Start investing. Available assets include not just Bitcoin and Ethereum, but also Cardano, Chainlink, Polkadot, and all major cryptocurrencies, as well as physical gold and silver. All digital assets are held in offline cold storage with the leading institutional custodians, Curve and Coinbase Custody, which are both insured and backed by the largest venture capital firms in crypto. Use our link, itrust.capital/value, in the description below to get $100 in Bitcoin when you open and fund your account with iTrust Capital. And now, back to our video.
Ethereum scalability has increased by about a factor of 5 since the project started. And then there are some problems that are not like just scaling problems per se, but they're still technology problems, right? Like there are problems that have to do with the fact that like this entire ecosystem has blown up and gotten big fairly quickly. There's a lot of aspects of it where people are still trying to understand like what is the correct way and what is the safest way to do these things. Right? Like for example, the state of just security auditing for blockchain protocols. Like it has gotten much better since the DAO hack back in 2016. Right, but at the same time, challenges continue to exist, and that's normal in any space when you have I guess usage growing faster and then the technology catches up.
You're planning major upgrades, meantime, and ETH 2.0 is well underway. What will that accomplish? What problems will it solve?
So I think what people call ETH 2.0 has two big parts, right? One big part is the switch to proof of stake. So after a full transition to proof of stake, there will not be any more mining. Ethereum's energy consumption will go down by like a factor of more than 1,000. So it'll go from being a big problem to basically not a problem at all. And the chain will become more secure, it'll become more efficient. So after that, the next major milestone is what's called the merge, which is when basically the proof of work chain just stops running and all of the applications on the proof of work chain get moved over to the proof of stake chain and continue running inside of the proof of stake chain from there.
Right now it is mostly finance apps that are built on Ethereum aside from NFTs, and I'm wondering, what is the killer app for Ethereum that could lead to widespread adoption, much like email was for the internet?
I think there's a few candidates. DeFi is obviously one of them. I think the blockchain-based financial things have always been attractive because the traditional financial system just sucks more than traditional centralized tech, right? Like, if I send an email to, someone in Guatemala, then they're going to receive it in 1 second. With finance, you can't even say that. A lot of people and companies, even today, just use cryptocurrency to send money internationally. Outside of finance, one interesting area where I think blockchains might go. You notice that in order to access your assets in Ethereum, you need to have an account. We're getting to the point where there's a lot of work that's been done on making these accounts very secure. And so instead of just being accounts that hold money, like these turn into like fully blown profiles, right? And once you have profiles, then you can start doing decentralized social media on top of that. The social and financial things that you can do with that, like even working together, is something that I think could be really big.
Now, whether Bitcoin, Ethereum, or the blockchain really are changing the world seems to be an ongoing debate. Is crypto the future, or is it a fad?
I think it's the future that contains fads, much like the internet was the future and the internet contained fads. You know, there's definitely specific kinds of applications that do get overhyped from time to time, like ICOs back in 2017, and then certain kinds of DeFi right now. But at the same time, there's other DeFi projects that really are valuable.
So the crypto skeptics, many people that are admired in the financial world, Jamie Dimon, Warren Buffett, are they just wrong?
A lot of them have definitely been just wrong already, right? Like they expected even back in 2013 to 15, at least some of them, to see blockchains and cryptocurrency fail and go down to zero in price and just not get any more interest completely. And even today, they've already been far more successful than any of them expected. So I can see how people in traditional finance, or at least some of them, can be inclined to kind of not see the value of blockchain-based finance immediately. There's a lot of people, even in traditional banks, that see the value that blockchains provide and have been trying to come up with things and work with them.
Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg is also making some big moves behind the metaverse. And what do you make of them wading into this decentralized world? Could they replicate some of the same problems that we see in Facebook and Twitter today?
I think Mark is clearly trying to figure out what the next stage after the internet is and actually get into it and create it. But before the rest of the world goes in some different direction, and Facebook is sort of left in the dust and becomes one of these kind of previous generation old world companies. So we've seen Facebook try to get into the crypto space with Libra, though. I think in the end, like, Libra did end up being possibly the wrong approach, because like the problem that someone like Facebook has, right, is that a lot of people mistrust them. And so building their own platform, like I know they tried really hard to create something that's a consortium with all these different industry participants, but even that was not enough, right? And there's just a huge amount of mistrust of them. But with the metaverse, I guess the thing that happened during the pandemic is that we've basically very quickly switched from a world where the physical world was people's kind of primary center of experience, and the internet was this new add-on, to a world where the internet really is the center of people's experiences. And so we basically are spending most of our time in a virtual world, and the question is just, like, what level of quality does that virtual world have?
So Ethereum in 5 years and 10 years, where is it?
Hopefully running the metaverse, but I guess we'll see how it goes.
You've got a lot of people out there, a lot of people who are trying to understand cryptocurrency, who are placing their bets. What's your prediction for Bitcoin? Does it replace the dollar? Does it exist in 50 years, or is it something else? And then similarly, what's your prediction for Ethereum? Because a lot of investors are choosing to hold both, or one or the other.
Yeah, I think replacing the dollar completely is unlikely, just because there's things that the dollar provides, like price stability, for example, that Bitcoin is not going to provide. Like, I think even in a theoretical world where the US dollar collapses, like, even then, I think Bitcoin is not going to be able to provide the level of stability that users and businesses expect to be able to set prices in. And in that kind of world, look, we would need something else. Like it could be decentralized stable coins, it could be something else, but we'll see. But at the same time, I think cryptocurrency can still have a very powerful and important role alongside existing currencies.